I believe I'm live. First ever one. So as we wait for people to roll in, this is my first ever live. I'm so excited. It's the morning. I basically just wanted to come on here and do this a bit because I hit 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty dang amazing. I didn't really think that was going to happen, but I figured I'd come on here while I'm doing my little morning magic routine now. And if anyone jumps in, great. If not, then this is also a bit to announce that I'm going to do a giveaway. So we'll get to that in a bit to celebrate. So lighting candles. I'm ready. This is even in frame, actually. There we go. Maybe carry it closer. Be a little more festive. Every morning, I just kind of come to my altar and I brew my coffee. It says wife, even though I'm not a wife, because if we aspire to, we will one day be. Good morning, Dawson. And then I always light a candle in the morning. Yay. Then I do a daily draw that I've become absolutely addicted to. Because I pull weird-ass cards and it makes life better. And I don't freak out about the draw as much as when I do it on a weekly or monthly basis. Hello, Angelica. It's my first ever live. Whee! So we'll see how this goes. Random! Oh, random's here. Yay! I absolutely love this girl. She's amazing. I stalked her religiously for a good amount of time before I just started my own YouTube channel. So all this makes me happy. Yes, I love the idea of having a daily drawing to help start your day. That's a neat practice. Yes, it is. It is. It is. And it makes me absolutely crazy. And one flipped up. So for my daily drawing, I have this. I'm still at the stage where I always pull a random ass card and then I have to go look at the book because I don't memorize things at all. What is this? 5 cups, 6 of cups? I can read, maybe. Yeah. I got the tower yesterday and I was freaking out all day. I was like, am I going to get fired? What's going to happen? I was like, that doesn't make sense for a daily draw. I've never gotten the tower in a day before. Thank you, Random. Yes, I also hit 1,000 subscribers yesterday at one point, which was very shocking, but exciting too. It's very, very exciting. It's amazing that many people like to listen to me talk. I'm a little bit of a chatterbox to people that know me pretty well. Oh, found it. 9 of Cups, bliss and harmony. At last the card of wishes comes true. When the 9 of Cups appears, worries and fears will be cast away. A new phase of peace and harmony awaits. The world seems to be granting your every wish. Good health, happiness, and even material gains are headed your way. Y'all, I have been getting some sort of card that exists with this material gains that's supposedly coming my way, and I'm not really sure what they mean because I haven't seen no money. I haven't seen no cute clothes. I haven't seen no especially delicious food that I'm really excited about. At most, I just have my lovely morning coffee, and that makes life better. So also, I announced it a little bit earlier, but I don't know if anyone was here yet. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Yay! To kind of celebrate the 1,000 subscribers. Because 1, I do a lot of unboxings. 2, I don't use everything in the boxes, and they're kind of just accumulating in this big bin underneath my altar, which you are sitting on right now, and it's getting obnoxious. So I've kind of gone through all the tools where I was like, what's vibing with me, what's not, and I'm just going to cleanse them all, and I'm going to put them in a box, and I'm going to send them off to some lovely person. One of the things I'm going to give away is anathema, because if you saw my Witchy Tools I Hate video and or the box that this came in, because it came right after I made that video, I got this and I was just very upset because it's very pretty. Yay. And sharp cutty things. But I got no vibes. I got nothing. Possibly I could be gaining, Random says, could it be that you are gaining the foundation to gain these things in the future with, I believe, my daily draw? Possibly. I am interested. I'm still really weird about daily draws and drawing for myself. I think I overinterpret it a lot. There are a lot of times where I just go off and kind of start planning the future based off the cards, which I know I shouldn't do. But at the same time, I'm like curious. So when I've been getting those type of cards for God knows the last 3 weeks now. So it's been about a month, and I've never done long-term magic before. Like when I ever first started in the craft, I've kind of mentioned this throughout videos. I did a love spell on the eclipse because I thought that's a great idea. See what happens. And all of the men that I was dating, which was 2 at the time, vacated my life, and now like there's been none in existence. So, but I kind of feel like things are like setting up for a better person to enter, so that's possible. So maybe that happening with finances too. That would be fantastic. Normally with my money spells and stuff, things come pretty quick for me. I don't know if it's just like my magic was like, we got to give her something, otherwise she's going to get distracted. You got to keep her entertained. Good morning, Johnny. Angelica Jolie, I don't like knives, but that would be amazing to use as an athame. Yes, it's like a nice little arrowhead. I thought I would be excited with it, but I'm not quite. Like, no. I also have, when you become a witch and you live with your parents because you're trying to save money, sometimes your mother does things because she's like, oh, that might be fun. Like sometimes you buy a cauldron that you become obsessed with. And then your mother, because she's weird, buys her own cauldron and then doesn't want to use it. She was like, I kind of liked it, but I don't know now. Can you take it? I'm like, I don't need 2 cauldrons. So that'll be in the giveaway. It's nice. It's got a little triple moon on it. It's very pretty. It's cast iron, and I would totally keep it if I didn't already have one. And I'm trying not to clutter up my altar. Random says a good practice to tap into your intuition is just by looking at the card and writing down what you get or pick up. Then after you can look at the book. That's good, because I've been probably out of all these buddies, there's probably 50% memorized. I want to get to that point where I like just at least know the basic meaning as I'm pulling cards, just so it's easier. It's been kind of like one of my like little milestone achievements I want to reach as a witch, but that'll be one of the things. That's a good suggestion, Random. I'll definitely start doing that. See if I can actually see what my intuition's pulling from the cards as opposed to anything else. Dawson, I love that cauldron. It is an awesome cauldron. I am all about it, but I don't need 2. I also have, I'm currently living, this is a house that my parents inherited from my grandmother, which is awesome. And we have a whole bunch of her stuff in here that I've kind of like either taken it or adapted as like a bit of like, I guess, ancestral stuff for my altar, which is nice. But one of the things we didn't do, because we finally opened this one drawer, is, oh my God, the candles. There are candles everywhere, and they're like nice ones too. Like, where did it go? Like, giant ass blue pillar candles. Like, I have so many things now below this space. It used to be like an extra type of deal. Like, oh, if I want that, I can use it in my craft. If not, then we'll just put it under until I use it. But now there's so many things that have just been kept under the altar that I'm like, I'm gonna pass it along, make people happy, makes world better. Let's see. Patricia, hi, how are you, hon? I am doing good. Ooh, let's see, what else do I do in morning magic? I've been kind of addicted recently to, where did you go? I don't have it with me. It's in my purse, probably. Just basically doing something with an anointing oil. Anyone else have tips for things to do with these? Because I'm absolutely addicted. Mostly I just give like a little bit on my wrists or something, and then like try to like imbue myself with whatever the oil is about if I'm feeling it at the time. Other times, not so much. Other times, I'm just like wanting to burn it with the herbs in my cauldron, and I watch the flames get big because I'm a bit of a pyromaniac. Just a smidgen, though. I haven't burnt any houses down on purpose. That's kind of a weird thing to say and then not explain. Basically, when I was 10, it was the first time of the month of me coming into womanhood. And I was very, very angry and sitting in front of the fireplace. This will be a fun story time, a little bit of a coffee and cauldrons. And I came home because I got it while I was away from the house, and I just sat in front of the fireplace and I stared at it because I was like, oh, it's warm and nice and it's making my cramps stop and I love this and I just want to be surrounded by fire. And I just thought that over and over and over again because fire is nice and it made the cramps stop and it was wonderful until, because I was 10 years old, my parents told me to go to bed. I go upstairs and it's absolutely boiling in my room, which I was so thankful for because I could actually like sleep because my cramps were easing because it was just so hot in the room. And suddenly out of nowhere, my mother comes upstairs to check on me. And she's like yelling at me because she's like, you're going to boil alive in here. Stop it. I'm like, no, I want the window closed. Don't open it. And so I yelled at her, yelled at her, yelled at her. Well, she goes over to the window anyway because that's what mothers do. They ignore their stupid, ignorant little children who are screaming at them for no reason. And she goes to the window to open it to let some air in, except for the fact that she stopped because the entire back roof of our house was on fire. Yeah. Apparently, there was something with the flue, and our house was built where it was like back roof, and then there was like this is the ceiling, so it was like caught at this part of the flue, and then it was just burning all the way through the middle of the roof. And no one in the house knew. You had to be outside the house to see the gigantic ass flames. So my mother screams at me to get downstairs, and everyone else to get downstairs. And all I could think of is I'm like 10, like with a blanket sitting out there, like trying to get the cramps to not keep starting up again. Is just like I kept wishing for fire to be surrounded me, but I don't. This is not what I meant. This is not what I meant at all. It's funny things like that where you're just like, did I do that, or was that just random and I'm just overthinking it way too much? Who knows? Who knows? Let's see how many other people. Oh my God, so many people are in here in the chat. Thank you. Morning, Sage Silver Serenity. Morning. Hello, lovely. Tiffany Hicks, girl, you are so lucky your mom is cool with the magics. I am. I absolutely adore my mother. She is pretty dang amazing. She has this wonderful, weird ass stance on spirituality and stuff in general, and she's been talking it to me and my sister for a while. I'm gonna see if I actually can get her to come onto my channel and have me like interview her, how she raised me with spirituality, because she had a very like hands-on but hands-off approach where it was just kind of like, this is what I do and this is what I believe, but you got to go figure it out for herself. I remember at one point she bought me like every one of those like Hinduism for dummies, Buddhism for dummies, Islam for dummies. She like bought me all of those for dummies books and like just gave me, and she's like, here you go, here's all of them, pick one. I don't think there was a Wicca for dummies though, unfortunately. That would have been probably the start of my journey otherwise. Anoint your third eye and then go on a journey. Ooh, anoint your feet and connect with nature. Great tips, random. Amanda Bone, when using anointing oils could be used for material items like candles, tools, doorways, things you use in the daily. Anointing a doorway, that's a fascinating idea. I don't know what I would do with that. I always love the idea of like in between things. I don't know, it was like I didn't want to see that Charmed episode. It was like one of the things that like triggered me, the in between where like things can come in and out of dimensions, doorways, portals, things like that. Probably why mirrors freak me out. If no one knows this, I have a very big thing with mirrors. I don't like scrying with them. They freak me out because I feel like something that's looking at me isn't me. So it's like looking at them to like do my makeup is one thing, and then I want to like get out of there as soon as possible. Like I really don't even like looking at myself in the mirror for like too long of a time. I don't know, it freaks me out. Natural water like reflections don't freak me out. It's just mirrors. I don't know why. It's very, very weird. I love anointing third eye for meditation or visualization. Yeah, I do so much like journeying while meditating. I should try using the anointing oil then. I don't know why that hasn't occurred to me before. That's a good idea, y'all. You guys are coming up with the stuff. Good morning, Noah. Oh my god, there's so many people here for my first live. I'm like all sorts of flattered, y'all. This is pretty dang awesome. All right, let's see. What else to chat about? I've also been attempting to get out into nature more and actually walk around before it gets like boiling hot in the summertime because if you live elsewhere in the country and you don't know about the horribleness that is the desert in the summer, I'm just like dying here. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It hits like 107 degrees by the time I come home from work, and I'm just all sorts of upset. So I try to get outside, at least have a little bit of morning coffee before I come to my altar every morning. We have a lovely little garden set up at this house, and then there's just a really great walk. But my parents live in a retirement community, and like I'm only allowed here like through a loophole to like live in this house. So it's very funny for all of the older people who are taking their morning walks to like look at me and be like, "Good morning." I'm like, "Morning. Nice to see you too. I'm also taking a morning walk. Like it helps to get me moving too." My parents joke because I go to bed so early that I live here no problem. They're like, "You could be a perfect little old lady." I'm gonna do another draw because that one was interesting. But I keep getting these abundance material gains draws coming into my life, and I have yet to see it. So I like to do clarification. Although maybe that's what the tower one was before, because I got the tower and the Four of Cups yesterday. And I was thinking that maybe that was a sign to stop focusing so much on the material gains, even though it comes up, like just let the universe give it to you when it wants to give it to you, Sam. Stop freaking out about it. Since you don't like scrying, maybe you could try some moon water and put in a large bowl and try scrying that way. P.S. Not an expert. Oh, that's a good idea, though. That's interesting. I've been thinking about trying to scry. I like scrying with, I just purchased not too long ago a selenite crystal ball, which I find very interesting. I tried scrying with a crystal ball I took a scrying class like a few months ago. I tried scrying with that once, and that was okay experience. It wasn't as vivid. I've scryed with smoke. That always seems to be like the best results for me. Like I get a lot of stuff out of that, but I really want to try scrying with more like liquids and stuff. So that's a good idea. Also, maybe try scrying with coffee since I'm obviously obsessed with it. And if you're already obsessed with it in the mundane, why can't it also be magical? Mirrors only freak me out if it's dark. I was traumatized when I was like 9 by girls in the bathroom doing the Bloody Mary thing at school. Yeah, that's another thing. Like I was always freaked out about them as a young child. And then the Bloody Mary thing kind of came in, and I was like, great, that's just another reason. And then I was like an adult in college. And like I was like, I'm going to cast off all these casual fears. I don't need to deal with this, right? Then one of my friends decided to inform me that there is an old Japanese lore that says that you can't look into mirrors if you like wake up in the middle of the night because that is when demons will try to or spirits will try to lure you into their realm or try to get into yours. Like they're trying to trick you. Like what's looking back is most definitely at that point not you. And I was like, "Oh, fantastic. Great. Thank you for telling me that." Tiffany Hicks. Amen. Coffee is pure magic. Yes, it is. Oh my god. All of the life, all of the wonderfulness. How does anyone else connect with their cards? Give me tips and tricks. I've been a little bit weird. Maybe it's not that weird. I've been sleeping with mine on the regular lately. I made a bit of a mistake. I took my cards with me to my sister's for her graduation play. She's graduating from her lovely college and is going to be an actress now. But when she's in the middle of like high stress situations, she gets like I can feel the stress from like miles away. So I brought my cards because I wanted to do a daily draw. And of course, because she sees me doing it, she's like, do me, do me, do me. So I did a couple of readings for her, which is cool. I don't mind doing readings for family so much. I don't think I'll ever be someone who like does readings for others per se. I don't know. I just like I can barely disconnect from myself, let alone others. I don't know how in the world I would do an objective reading. That's for me personally, I guess. But I don't know. I was doing some readings for her because she's family and because it's kind of hard to say no to a little sister that's graduating. And Oh my god, I feel like the stress, like, imbued its way into my cards. I, like, have cleansed them with so much smoke now, like, and they're finally feeling like they're back to connected with just me, and I've been sleeping with them a bunch too, hoping to, like, connect them better to, like, my dreams and stuff, I guess. I just always do that. I, like, put them under my pillow and, like, make sure they're safe because I toss and turn like a crazy woman, and I'm always afraid I'm gonna, like, wake up and there's gonna be just, like, cards strewn everywhere. Like, "Oh my god, why? Why did I think that was a good idea?" Let's see. The Wheel of Fortune. This is my favorite card. I don't know why. Something about it just makes me so happy. I don't know, I guess because I love movement and I love change and I love the constant flow of things, which I guess should be extremely evident in how I connect with Persephone, which is like the embodiment of seasons, and then Loki. Me and Loki are a bit of rocky terms right now. He did something in the Astral I'm not too fond of. Might do another coffee and cauldrons on it later. We have to have a discussion. It's probably a lesson hidden in there somewhere, but oh, he's driving me up a wall. Wheel of Fortune. Let's see if I'm forgetting any little side things with this one. Do, 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 do. One day, I'll get there. I always hate when you flip past a card like 6 times. Where did it go? Aha. Whether day or night, the Wheel of Fortune is always in motion. Some call it fate, others destiny. It's possible to go for months or years without feeling its presence, but when this card appears, the eye of the wheel is fixed upon you. Don't be surprised if there's a change of course heading your way, something you least expect. Whatever happens to you during this time, know that it is bringing you closer to your life's purpose. That's lovely. But when? The question everyone always asks. It's like, when will this happen, though? When? What signs do I need to see? Let's see. Johnny asks, Brandon Witch, how are you? I'm sure she will answer. Silver Sage Silver Serenity. I move around too much at night to have anything near me. LOL. I lost a crystal that way. Still can't find it. Oh no. Yeah, I am too clumsy with crystals as it is. I would drop them all the time and shatter them and be very, very sad for days on end, let alone actually like sleep with them. I do not sleep with crystals in my bed. I think I did that once and I actually had amazing results. Like I woke up like wide awake without like ever needing coffee every time I did that for some reason. I don't know if it was just like charging me up too or what it was, but yeah, and I was too afraid of breaking them or falling or something being like thrown across a room. Now a lamp is broken because I kicked in my sleep or something. Amanda says, when I work with tarot, I tend to hold onto a particular spread until the meaning behind the reading becomes clear. Ooh, that's interesting. Then if something's like abundance, I'll perform a spell or work magic to help myself to those opportunities. Yeah, I've been doing a reoccurring little money spell on the regular, and I've been applying to new jobs because the one I'm at currently is very like, it's okay, but I feel like there's other opportunities that could definitely open me up to stuff. And I would love to be able to move on to something bigger and greater. I work in the publishing industry, and so I work for a small magazine right now, and I would like to work for either like a larger one and or switch over to something more literary or in the comic book field. That would be fantastic. But keep the intentions out there. We'll see if something pop up. I've been kind of just applying willy-nilly wherever I can find, hoping my resume is up to date, and then like doing a spell while I hit the send button. We'll see if that actually turns up or not. Hopefully that will actually come to burn. Maybe someone's reading my resume right now. I'm just now trying to scratch the surface. That is tarot. Oh, I know that deck. My personal fave is the Delphi deck, but I don't have a deck of my own since I'm still in the broom closet. Ooh, that's always tough. What did I buy my first deck? I didn't purchase it. I had a thing back in the day. I don't know where I heard this from. It's probably some random place on the internet that you had to be gifted a deck. Like you could not purchase your own deck. Like that a deck had to find its way to you either through a gift or like through a random like happenstance type of deal. Like you couldn't purchase it, which is just a silly thing. Like I guess I could see the purpose with it a little bit being that like, oh, it's because you've connected with this or the universe is giving this thing to you. So there's a instant connection, possibly, in a sense. But, like, if someone gifts me something, half the time I don't even like the things people gift me. Like, it's better if I stay connected to it. So, like, I remember I, like, forced my mother, I was 19, and there was, like, this shop with all these tarot decks in Chicago, and I told her to go and just, like, pick a random one. Like, I couldn't be in even in the shop. I just wanted her to go in and pick a random one and give it to me. And so my first ever deck was the manga tarot, and it was very interesting because all of the rolls on the in the cups and the suits were all reversed. So that means that every guy was now a girl and every girl was now a guy. So like the top of the suit wasn't the King of Pentacles, it was the Queen of Pentacles. I even think it says like Empress of Pentacles and Emperor of Pentacles instead of like Queen and King, which is very interesting to play with that kind of flip as like a starter deck as I learned all the images. But oh, being in the broom closet, that's difficult. I always wonder, does anyone do like tarot card apps where you like shake your phone and it like does a draw for you? I wondered if that was ever connecting well for people or not. I was like considering that because I used to carry a deck with my purse, but then I accidentally covered it in beans way back when. Way back when, I say like so long ago, like 6 months ago I did this. And it made a huge mess. Blah. Let's see. I keep a small piece of quartz in the storage bag, and it is made for some super clear readings. Ooh, interesting. Interesting concept. Yeah, normally with my tarot deck, doesn't ever come with me, Wild Unknown. It just stays in this pretty box, and I just leave it on my altar. And normally I surround it with some form of clear quartz. I have a lot of it. God, I have a lot of clear quartz, but I just normally surround it with it. Someone had commented on one of my videos saying about like using tarot and runes to connect with deity, and I thought I was like, yeah, but that's a good idea. I've never done that before. And I was like, no, yeah, I have, kind of, with my ever-present crocodile dilemma that I'm dealing with. If no one has been watching my other videos, I have visions of crocodiles that have been haunting me for a while, and I think I might have hit a breakthrough with it. So I may or may not be doing a video soon on it. We shall see, depending on what happens. But what is this crystal? Tourmaline? Maybe? Whatever this one is, with a slight little shimmer in it there. It's like rough and then polished, only on this one edge. I've got a little tower of it as well. I was really drawn to this crystal randomly, and then someone commented in one of my videos mentioning that this, for her, was actually connected to crocodiles. So I was like, that's interesting. So now I've been charging it up with that, hoping that a certain crocodile will help give me connections with other things on the regular. I haven't been doing it recently. I should do it again to see what he's up to. Because those are always very interesting readings. I always get the most random cards where I'm like, what does that even mean? I have to like meditate on it for like forever and be like, what are you trying to tell me? I don't understand. This is the first time where I haven't like sat down after like a good solid in-depth travel to the astral. And like after that, I've always been able to like understand whatever lesson Persephone or Loki is trying to like shove down my throat in a sense. But when it comes to this crocodile thing, I've got no idea. Every teacher's just like, hey, look at the thing. And I'm like, what does that mean? This makes no sense. Zero. I even played with the idea. I was like, maybe this is Loki trying to be extra tricky and confuse the hell out of me. And like I asked that question and I like popped into the astral for a second. And Loki just looked at me like, this is not me. Like he was a solid, like, normally I would confuse you with an answer, but no, not this time. This is not me at all. This is very random. Certain decks I don't like because of the imagery they use for the devil card. Some of them I think could be misconstructed with Satan, and I wouldn't want folks to think I'm into Satanism. Yeah, that is. I have a weird thing with the entire idea of the devil, in a sense. I don't know. I'm always clearly Loki's my patron, but I'm very drawn to trickster archetypes. I've always kind of. I didn't really grow up in the church, and I didn't really learn even what a sin was until 7th grade, when someone yelled at me that I was sinning, and I had to go home and ask my mom what that meant. um, so I have never really had this whole like original sin and evil and the devil beaten into me at a young age, which is very interesting. So when I learned about the devil and the story of Lucifer and all of that nonsense within the Christian faith, I was very intrigued by it, by his trickstery nature. Like I always kind of liked characters and stories that were like of that level a lot. So I don't know. The devil card for me is always like when it comes almost a little less sinister and a little more playful. I feel like that's more attuned to what's happening. I don't mind the devil card in the Wild Unknown because it's just a goat or a ram. What is the devil card? What animal are you? Maybe a yak? No, I think it's a goat. That seems to be the classic imagery. Some sort of goat horn being. Yeah, the devil. The very. So I don't mind him too much. He seems like he could be a trickstery goat. I do agree with this. Sometimes I look at the devil card depictions and I'm just like, that just seems a bit too severe with the imagery. I don't know why. Doesn't vibe well for me. My biggest card when it comes to tarot decks is how does the Wheel of Fortune look? That's what made me buy this deck. It's my favorite card. I don't know, like I just love it so much. Every time I even get it, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What's going on there? There's just every card that seems to have like really in-depth imagery, so it's like so many layers and stuff. I don't know. Mm. Certain decks I don't like. That would just complicate things once I would have to eventually explain Wicca to them. I know there's a crocodile god in Egyptian. Yes! His name is Sobek. I've been looking into that. Egyptian gods, it could be a possibility. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, going into the astral and asking questions to my guides has always been very like, I get at least a half answer in a sense, but this is the first guide I've had who has not appeared in a form that I can readily recognize with like answers I can readily recognize. Like there have been times like Loki shapeshifts all the freaking time. I don't know what the hell he's doing. So he could appear as anything to me, but he always like gives me written words when I have a direct answer to a question, even if it's just like keep going or like not yet or maybe. Like I always get like an answer to the question, even if I don't like the answer. But when it comes to this crocodile thing, it only appears as a crocodile. It doesn't appear. I believe Sobek also appears with like the head of a crocodile and a man when in the uh, Egyptian gods. Like that's another symbol of him, but I never see that appearance. It's only ever as the crocodile, and the crocodile just stares at me. Like it like kind of blinks, it kind of swims around. Every once in a while, I'll get a bit of a grin, which I kind of feel is like an inch onto something, but I never get a direct answer. There's never a written word. There's never an anything. So I've been like trying to look at crocodiles. Like, what do you do when you're aggravated? What do you do? And so maybe I can figure it out better, but I'm just very, very confused. I like the character of Lucifer, but I don't believe he's evil at all. The persona of Satan the devil doesn't vie with me at all, but Lucifer does. Yeah, that's another one. The idea of like Satan the devil and Lucifer. It kind of feels like three separate characters to me as well. But at the same time, I know a lot of people like use them interchangeably. So a lot of times I will use the terms interchangeably. But when I relate so well to it, it's the idea of a trickster or a guy who is or a god, deity, something that is like connected really well to weird vibes, I guess, or just like, hey, like let's look at the truth, like brutally honestly in a sense. I don't know if anyone watches the show Lucifer. That's pretty way the one reason I enjoy that show so much. I'm like, this is what I was thinking when I read the book for the first time. When I read the Bible, trying to see what the stories were inside of it, this is what I was thinking when I heard about the devil. I use Galaxy Tarot for Android. You get a card of the day widget, so I've enjoyed that for days. I'm not able to pull a card. Oh, I'll have to check that one out. Galaxy Tarot. That must be interesting. My cards to look at in the new decks are Death, Devil, High Priestess, and Queen of Swords. Ooh. Love the show Lucifer. I love the show Lucifer. Yay! I'm so happy. I love that show too. It is absolutely excellent. And I love the concepts that it plays with deity and how deity is even flawed. And no one really knows what God's up to. God, if there is one or whatever. In the show, there is like the Father God. It's just so intriguing. Oh, I love the questions they pull up with it, but it has so much wit with it as well. It's just fantastic. They better save it. It better go to another channel somewhere. Bass Egyptian cat goddess reminds of the tricky playfulness that Loki has. Maybe you're getting a subliminal nudge from Loki that maybe you need to walk like an Egyptian for a little while. Maybe. Maybe. I definitely feel my deities. I filmed another video about this that goes a little more in depth that'll be up sometime in the next few weeks, but I definitely feel like my deities at times play tag team with me. Like, I pretty much just connected with Persephone. And then immediately she was like, "Yay, we're together now." And go. And I was like, "What? Wait, what do you mean go? You've been here for like a month solidly. What do you mean go?" She's like, "I need to go talk to my husband. You need to find somebody else to play with now." And that basically is what set me on kind of the path to search for a patron, because I was like, well, I want someone to talk to. I need something here. And then Loki has definitely handed me back off to Persephone and her back off to Loki. And it's always at a random, like, jerky position. I think it's like to keep me changing and evolving and moving as a person. Possibly. Who knows? So I definitely feel they're both like kind of like standing back right now for the crocodile thing, except for this is one of the reasons I'm mad at Loki, because he stopped standing back. Mr. Trickster lied. Which I'll go more in depth in a later video, because that's like a whole astral chat story time. Coffee cauldrons nonsense. Plus, I like, especially with this work that I then put onto YouTube, I like to like have a full experience with it and kind of see what lesson I've garnered from it before I kind of report to you guys. Or if like I have been confused for a long period of time, I like have like, and that's stage one of the story. I don't know, the writer in me needs to break stuff up before I put it out into the world. So it's like there's like a natural beginning and an end, I guess. Atla, she is one of my goddesses. Ooh, Alta. Atla? I always feel like I'm mispronouncing gods and goddesses who are not like Greek. I don't know. Like the Greek ones or the Romans are really easy for me to pronounce for whatever reason. Who knows? Maybe because I have so much Mediterranean blood in me. Who knows? But when it comes to other ones, I stumble over their names. And what is it? The last goddess provisions box. Are you over here? Yes, you are. Not goddess provisions, in Tame the Wild. There's a beautiful goddess booklet. And it had all these it had a list of all the goddesses just in case you hadn't connected to one before. And reading these was so difficult. I was like, I can't pronounce any of you. I just hope I'm not like insulting somebody if I'm like trying to connect with somebody. Like Sobek, I hope that the Egyptian crocodile god, I hope that's how you say that. And the more research I'm doing, the more it's like, well, that was kind of his name, but in this other kind of version that celebrated him, they pronounced it this way, and other times they pronounced it this way. And I'm like, what is his name? Someone tell me. Kind of just call him Crocodile, because I hope that's who I'm connecting with. Who knows? Maybe not. Let's see. My patron is Anubis. Ooh. Bast has been with me for years, but some other goddesses have too. I don't feel like I have an actual matron. Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't think I was going to like lock down with gods or goddesses so much, but I like having touchstones. The one time I went down to an astral work and traveled to the underworld with Persephone, I had seen other goddesses and they definitely took notice of me, but it was in a very like, I am so not going to deal with that yet. Like, I see you exist. I have no idea if that's like a reach out to connect or not, or who knows. We shall see. Good morning, Mary. Let's do that. Atla Bass is one of the Egyptian gods. Yes. Atla, if you believe in past lives, you may have led a past life in Greece. Possibly, possibly. I have a very weird, I don't know. I went on, before I even claimed the word witch, me and one of my friends took a lovely meditation and connection to energy class back in Chicago. I wish I could remember the place because it was really fantastic how they spoke about energy. It was very open to many different faiths and many different beliefs about how this whole weird energy thing works. And so they kind of did this wonderful guided meditation with us and said we could do it at home and like gave us the soundtrack to do it. And I went home and I did it, trying to connect better with like all of the energy connections in my body. And it actually ended up doing what I believe to be a past life like travel. And it was real freaky. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm used to kind of, like, going in and out of the astral now and having experiences where, like, I feel emotions that I don't naturally connect to in this rendering of reality, I guess. But that one was really freaky for me because I felt like I was mourning someone who had died, and it was, like, definitely in a totally different time period, and I can't quite tell where it was. And I did it again one other time, and it was a totally switched situation, kind of around the similar time, but, like, one time, like, my love had clearly died, and I felt like that person had gone off to heaven or something and left me all alone. And then another time, I was watching, like, somebody that I cared for very deeply. It could have been a lover, it could have been someone else, like, just, like, go off to sea in, like, this really pretty lake, and I knew it connected off somewhere else, and I knew they were gonna leave forever, so who knows? So, I've been very weird about past lives traveling ever since then. I definitely think that there's a possibility of them. It's something I like to entertain and see if that's a belief of mine, but after those 2 experiences, I'm a little, like, hesitant to try to connect with them, when I'm, like, researching stuff. Uh, let's see, Tiffany Hicks, your videos have done so much for me. I'm feeling drawn to both Freya and Lilith currently, and hearing stories of your path has helped me open up to them. Oh, I'm so glad! Yay! Oh, I'm so happy that those help. Sometimes, like, I'm still so new to this stuff, and, like, in some respects, I'm like, I kind of resent the idea that people have to, like, declare their newness in a sense because I don't think wisdom comes with age or even to some level experience. Sometimes people can have a single experience that makes them just as wise as someone who has been trying a whole bunch of different levels. Like, wisdom comes in all shapes and forms, but I like to declare it just in case, just so everyone knows. So it makes me happy. Like, I'm just trying to share my experiences. It helps others. Yay! Let's see. Lean Woods. Yay, Shadow Harvest. Love your videos. You're so knowledgeable. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy. Good morning, Ada. Atla Gray City Sage. Yeah, I never thought of that. I just I'll keep that in mind. It's I don't know. It's so interesting when you go into deity and everything else. Connecting with them is it's so different for each person, and it's such a different type of journey. I always loved like that was probably like one of the main videos I loved clicking on for the first like 6 months of like really diving into the like YouTube pagan world. It's just like, how did you connect with this person? How did you connect with this person? And everyone has a different story and a different way that like deities appear to you and like how it all works out. It's definitely very, very odd. I've never had a, and it's, I think this is probably the reason I'm back into all those videos is because of the freaking crocodile. I finally found a totem for him. This lovely little buddy. It's a little brass, I think, little handcrafted thing of a crocodile. So I was trying to find I went to a store up in Sedona? Yes, maybe Sedona? And I went up there and found a crocodile skull, and it was beautiful, and, like, everything in my body was like, "Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it." And then I saw the price tag, and I was very, very sad. Don't spend all your money and go into debt for witchcraft people, it's not worth it. So I found this little guy for, like, $10, and I was very excited because that way I have a little totem on my desk now to connect to a crocodile. Hopefully, I'll figure out what's any questions or anything. Have a good day at work. Thank you. That was beautiful. I did go to the vortex. That was fun. Sedona is absolutely gorgeous. Although all the crystals up there, I should have known better because if you do ever travel to Sedona, because it is kind of like a spirituality centered, especially with the tourism and stuff there, all the crystal shops are extremely overpriced. If you can find any of them, most places elsewhere, do that because everyone I hopped in, I was like, shh, my local one in Phoenix is way cheaper than this. I'm not paying that much for that. That's hilarious. I think the only thing I ever bought there was I bought a very small piece of selenite, and it was like triple the price of the shop down back in Phoenix. I was like, this is ridiculous. Oh hell no, 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 no. I'm not paying out the nose for crystals. But just so everyone knows, I'm gonna put this live for the rest of my channel to see for the giveaway. Like this video, and then also comment down below. What do I want to have you comment for the giveaway? It'll be selected randomly in about 2 weeks. I think I'll announce who wins the giveaway. If no one has been around for it before, it is Athame, a cute little cauldron with triple moon on it. and a couple of other things that I've picked up from boxes. I probably will post on my Instagram exactly what I will include in it, but like this video and comment down below a spell that has failed for you. That'll be fun. It's one of my to-do videos on my list. I want to do another witchy fails videos because things have been going a little bit wrong. It's fun to share your failures as much as your successes, I think. Gives everyone a little bit of breath of going, oh, okay, I'm not the only one who sucks at this sometimes. So comment down below a spell that's failed for you or something that went wrong magically. Like this video, and then I will do a random draw of everyone in about 2 weeks' time. I'll announce who the lovely winner is for the giveaway. Anyway, guys, thank you for showing up. This is so awesome. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. It's live stream, so I can't do that. Drat.